back with us. And I can get DeAnna back on the show because we're having a great opportunity for her to share her story. So as soon as I see her pop back on, I'll go ahead and re-guest her again. Again, this is Pageantry Now, and my name is Stacey Shero Simpson. We're all about highlighting all the amazing things that men and women are doing around the world to be able to make a difference in service projects. You can't hear me? Oh no, hold on. Let's see. Hi, how are you? Let's try this again. All right, can you hear me now? You can hear? Okay, good. You can hear me? Okay. Okay. I feel bad. All of a sudden it glitched out. You can't see anything? Try reloading it. Hey, Samantha, how are you? Oh my gosh. Can you hear me, Samantha? You can hear me, DeAnna? Okay, great. Let me see if I can pull you back in. Sorry about that.
Okay.
I'm so sorry because actually that was a technical issue on my part. I was trying to share what you were saying so that people would be able to see it later on. And I hit a button that it froze it up, so I apologize. So anyways, okay, so continue to talk about, you were talking about how the club has changed your ability to see the different projects that are going on and people out there making a difference. So
Right. Like I was saying, it's so wonderful to see that the women who are involved in these projects are involved with them before they come to the club. This is something that they have been passionate about many times most of their lives, and will continue to be passionate about long after, they decide to go on and do something else. That is very important to me. They are not just doing it for a short term or to possibly, look a little bit better or fill a resume or anything like that. These are things that they do because this is the type of life that they want to live. And it is incredible to see, just the different things that these women can accomplish, like I showed you before, like I talked about before, in such a short amount of time. It's almost humbling to know that I was selected as the Mrs. USA to represent the tremendous efforts of this club and these women. I, along with Julie, it's almost humbling and kind of devastating in a way to think that we were who they selected to represent them as a whole when any one of them could have filled that role.
But you know what? That means that your peers respected you and your peers were looking to you and respect what you're doing too. So yes. At the end of the day, I mean, that's a huge sign of who you are and what you've been able to do and what you've been able to accomplish and the lives that you're touching. So at the end of the day, it's humbling, but it should be such a huge honor to think that this group of amazing women who are all making such a huge difference all voted together, and you were chosen to be the president of the group. Absolutely. Heather, right? You agree? I agree. That's fantastic. And Melissa says this is by using the club, you guys are able to network across the United States to be able to do your work and streamline your efforts. I know
right.
that many groups that, like you said before, that have gotten almost no recognition whatsoever by doing your individual service projects,
mm-hmm.
or you have been able to raise awareness just amongst the group. So,
right.
So tell me a little bit about how you got involved with the Mrs. USA Club. I know that you met Melissa at a pageant, but tell me when you. Hey, Janella, how are you? Tell me when you became a club member, and then how that happened, and what the experience has been like since you started. So,
well, being a military spouse and having to move all the time is another reason why I stayed involved in mainstream pageantry, is because it was a really great way for me to get to learn the new place that we were quickly. So I continued to do it that way. Well, My husband retired after 30 years as a master diver, but decided that we were moving again anyway. So we ended up, we were moving to Georgia. And unlike the other moves before, we were not moving to another military community. We were moving to a place where we knew 2 people, basically, and that was very different. So I did start looking at opportunities. I always look up what community service opportunities are and that sort of thing. And I looked up opportunities for Georgia. And as a matter of fact, it came across, I think it was through a social media aspect, the Ms. USA Club. And I looked at that first. I didn't even know Melissa was involved in it when I looked at it. And I looked at it, read about it, and then decided to, send a message to the club to get more information. Well, when I got the message back, I figured out who it was. Hi, Yvette. Thanks for the likes.
Tons of likes. We love the likes. Move us up, those girls. Come on, guys. That's great. So, really quick, I'm going to interrupt, and I'm going to say hi to some of my longtime, we call them crownies, people that have been following me for a year. We started doing this show a year ago. So, Genoa, thank you for being here. Lyrical, I can't believe you're here. I miss you so much. And Samantha, who is Miss Worldwide Teen Canada, thank you for being here. It's so good to see you. I miss you guys. Steve Tyler from the Lorville Army is in the house. So we appreciate that. So thank you. Okay.
And thank you for the compliment. Someone said I was beautiful. That's really sweet.
Yeah. Don't you love that when someone says it and you're just like, oh, thank you?
They obviously didn't see me yesterday, so I so appreciate that compliment right now.
You guys can go back and look at the clips of what we both look like in the real day.
We're just real. That was just our real day.
That's our real day. This is what we do, when we're having fun.
So that's how I got involved. So I reached out to Melissa. She got back to me. I realized who it was. So we had a really great talk about it. And I really wanted to get involved with it. So I did. And when I came to Georgia, it was one of the things that opened doors right away for me. Got involved with the city of Sugar Hill, the city of Beaufort, right away was able to do that. And then the opportunity came about to be the inaugural Mrs. USA. And I think Melissa, it was on her mind so much that she called me, I think it was like 7:30 in the morning, to see what my level of interest would be in assuming a role like that. And then once I had picked myself up off the floor and said I absolutely would be interested in representing this club in that aspect. Then it had to go back, obviously, to the board and to the directors for their input into it. But she told me after the fact that it had been previously discussed, apparently, and it was just her kind of bridging the gap with the invitation to the appointment. And I can tell you, after being, involved in our world, in the world of pageantry for years, I am so completely refreshed right now by serving in this club and serving as vice president and serving as Mrs. USA. I am so refreshed by the acceptance and the open arms and the attitude that people have had about what it is we do and how we do it. And there are actually people out there that would never consider getting involved in a pageant per se, but they are excellent within the community. Well, this allows individuals like that the opportunity to really assume a larger role without having to take on, the side that pageantry brings to it. So this has been an incredible, eye-opening and really a great way for me to continue to evolve as a person. I just can't say enough how much I enjoy every single day. I get my hands dirty a lot. I have traveled, all over the place. I'm actually going, if there's any of my peeps on from Maumee, Ohio, I'm going up to Ohio in a couple of weeks. I'm going to speak to a class at my alma mater, which I spoke to back in 2009. Had the opportunity to speak to them then. Just the continuous opportunities that happen when you are an area director in a leadership role for the Ms. or Mrs. USA Club has been tremendous, and I am just so grateful for every day.
That's so fantastic. You make such a huge difference in the world, and I know that what you're doing is moving forward, and it's so great. You come from a media background. I mean, you clearly have. Tell us a little about your real life.
Okay.
Because I see, on your feed, I'm going, she's been on TV on Fox, she's been on TV, I mean, and a couple of CBS, Fox.
Fox,
well, you told me about it because I'm like, wait, how did that happen? And I want that job because that's what I want to do. So tell us about your real life. I know now you're retired, or at least taking some time off. But
I did. I had the tremendous opportunity to retire a couple of years ago, but I spent 20 years in media and advertising. I was a leader, a corporate leader for many of the large print and publishing companies across the United States. I ran a NASCAR magazine. I was general manager for that. I was publisher for 4 newspapers for Sound Publishing out in the Pacific Northwest. I've had the opportunity to be ad director for some of the major publications that Hearst has. So I led a very stressful but very fulfilling life in the print and publishing and news media field for 20 years. I achieved everything I wanted to do with that. I, had the pleasure of leading some of the best sales teams in the country. They were award-winning sales teams, and it was, surely because we gelled together and we made such a great team. So my background is in media and news and publishing, and I can appreciate everything that, those people go through because it is a long, grueling schedule. It's a long and grueling schedule. It's deadline oriented, so it made me very quick to task. I was lucky to be able to retire when I did, so I could then focus on my passion projects, which for years I had wanted to do full time. And so I was able to do that, and I feel very blessed to be able to do that because my husband and I have 6 children. Our oldest just had our...
You're like 23. How can you have 6 children? Just stop, okay?
Well, you're my new best friend because you just said I look 23. But actually, our oldest daughter just had our first granddarling. So I am a glamma, and I'm coining that term. I have not earned the word grand, so I am a glamma right now. And our little... grandson was born in November, so we have 4 girls and 2 boys. We have one that's in her last semester at Florida State. We have one who is active duty Coast Guard. Our oldest daughter graduated from UCF, 2 at UNG, and then our youngest is a freshman at North Gwinnett High School. So we have a full plate, and being able to retire when I did, even though a lot of time the kids I did have to miss out because of the amount of time I had to spend at work, I feel is a real blessing because I can be there, now, and I can continue to serve the community in the capacity that I see fit. So
that's fantastic. So I'm just so inspired by you. I think that the things that you're doing are so remarkable, and I mean, it goes beyond the club. I mean, your personal projects are just so fulfilling, and I am a survivor of domestic violence. We've had that discussion, and I don't openly talk. I mean, I'm starting to openly talk about it, but when it occurred was one of those times when nobody spoke about it, so it wasn't something that I was comfortable with talking about.
Yeah. And I thank you for sharing that with me, because you didn't even know me at that point, and it's, you know, it's a connection that we'll always have, because I know what you've been through and you know what I've been through.
Exactly. And I know, having been a military wife, that, you know, it's a rough life. It's not easy to travel everywhere and have to pick up and go, and so few of our military personnel and their families as well get the kind of support that they really need to be able to, you know, feel like when they come home that they're home again. So it's super important to be able to give them that. So.
Well, I've had the pleasure of working with some FRG groups and with Corps, and with the Navy League, once he retired. But that was one of the things that I actually helped them focus on, was reintegration, which can be extremely difficult, which is when domestic violence issues can occur upon return from deployment, because the service members they're not going to pick daisies in a field. They're going to do a task that sometimes can be extremely unpleasant. The community that my husband was last in, you know, was a special warfare community. So, you know, they're sometimes at the pointy end of the spear. They have the SEAL groups there, and he was the master diver for Group 2, and so a lot of the things that they go and do, you think is just the next, you know, war movie, but it is their reality. It is their real life. And so working with families, you know, when they start hearing that, you know, their service member is coming back, the reintegration process is hugely important, to help, you know, because they are coming back a lot of times with PTSD and other issues. So just being able to be a small part of that, and you know, possibly save one family from going through, you know, something that the kids will remember for the rest of their lives and could be devastating overall, you know, is very fulfilling.
My ex-spouse, which this was many years ago, was special military intelligence, special forces. Back before many of you were ever born or even thought of, back when the Soviet Union was someplace that you couldn't go to, aka Russia. You know, he was in Korea for a year, stationed in Korea, but he did things that were unthinkable. And when he came home, I knew him in junior high school, and when he came home, he was not the person that I married. You know, and a firecracker would go off, and it was duck and covering, and it was, you know, literally I would see him dog crawling through the apartment in the middle of the night, because he was so shell-shocked by those experiences. And, you know, it changed him, and he was never the same, you know, never the same guy. But thank God he ended up finally getting help and finally was able to start to work through it. And now he's a doctor of psychology, which I think is amazing, because he took his horrific experiences and changed them into a positive to be able to help other people that were going through stress and strife, which is fantastic. But
well, like you and I, he's turned his devastation into a way to help others. So, you know, there's no better coach than someone who's played the game.
Right, exactly. No, exactly.
Ruth wanted somebody to talk to her, so.
Hi, Ruth! So, okay, so we've had you for an hour. I know we've had some technical glitches, but just how would you like to end the show? What would you like to share with everybody? What message would you like to share?
I found a special quote today, and it's really going to become part of something I share in the speeches that I do across the country, and it's from, I'm going to look down, okay, and I don't have my glasses on, so bear with me. It's from Chuck Palahniuk, and it says, if you can change the way people think, the way they see themselves, the way they see the world, if you can do that, you can change the way people live their lives. That's the only lasting thing you can create. So for me, it's my calling to continue to create my lasting thing every day. And I just challenge everyone else to think, what is your lasting thing going to be?
That is fantastic. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm going to mirror that with the piece of advice that I got that got me back into doing pageants again. One of my good friends was literally on her deathbed dying of cancer, and I was there being her caretaker. And she knew the time was coming, and she looked at me and she said, if you died tomorrow, what would you want to hear at your funeral? And I had to think about it for a minute, and I said, you know what? I want to know that I changed one life. Because if I changed one life, that ripple effect means that that person will go on and share it, and two people will go on and share it. 5 people will go on and share it. So at the end of the day, I want to know that I had an impact on one person. So, and that's really where Pageantry Now started from, was being able to give. Oh, I know, Heather, I know, and I am so blessed and so loved and so grateful for the opportunities that I've had, and you know, my life. Oh, thanks, Matt. I wasn't looking for you guys to verify it, but thank you very much. But it's true that the small things that we consider to be small things that we do out of our heart to be able to change the world, even if it's just, you know, the 5 people around us, have a long-lasting ripple effect.
Well, I can say that, you know, the women that are involved in the Ms. and Mrs. USA Club, they have a heart for this. This is where their heart is. This is where my heart is. And this is where, you know, we will continue to make strides in the world. We are growing every day, and we are so appreciative of all the love that we've had, and especially, you know, people like you who help us share the message of who we are and what we do. And if people are interested in finding out more, they can do so by going to www.misusa.club or www.mrsusa.club, and we will be happy to have a conversation with you more. And I appreciate everybody's love tonight.
So if you guys, and they're under Ms. USA Club, so you can look them up on Facebook as well. And do you guys have Twitter and Instagram as well?
I do. I have a Mrs. USA Twitter and a Mrs. USA Instagram, and I will make sure that I post those for you. But I appreciate all the love, and I'm always willing to, you know, one of the major things that I said to Melissa when I accepted the appointment was that my goal was to try to get to as many states that I could to really show the national impact of what my responsibility was supposed to be. So I'm always looking for, you know, wonderful things to do and people to meet across the country. I'm always here for our area directors, but I really want to make good on that promise that I made myself and to Melissa, was that I was truly going to do as much as I could on a national level to fulfill my responsibilities.
That's fantastic. And I know you're changing many, many lives, inspiring many, many women. And we are so grateful to have you on the show, to be able to hear your stories. Again, if anybody wants to get involved in the Ms. USA Club or the Mrs. USA Club, it is a service organization. It is open to any woman that wants to be a general member. It's free to become a member, where you are part of their 4 active community service projects a year. And those 4 active community service projects are in February, July, November, and December. So if you want to get involved, please go to the website so you can find out more information. Or you can always direct message DeAnna at Mrs. USA 2016-2017, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
The direct message, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, my love. You're beautiful
Thank
inside. Most importantly, that is what we are all about, is highlighting true beauty from the inside out. It doesn't matter what this looks like, as long as this inside brings out the glory that you are. So we really appreciate that. So thank you.
Well, thanks for having me, and I appreciate everybody's, sweet comments, and I thank you for sharing your Thursday with us. Let's do it again soon.
Do you want to do it again? Let's do a follow-up one. Like, when do you?
My national appointment will be over in July. So.
At the symposium, right?
Yes. Yes.
I think I've been invited to cover
this. Once you've represented at a certain level, then you always live that life, I guess. So.
No matter what, you're always still an area director, so you never stop being an area director, right?
Right. Let's do a bling off again before we go. Bling, 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 bling.
Bling on. Wait. Hold on. Bling, 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 bling. Ooh.
Thank you, everybody, for the love, and thank you, Stacy. This has been awesome, and I can't wait to talk to you again soon.
Awesome. Much love to you. Thank you, my love. You're awesome. I mean, you are so made for this. This is so perfect. I'm so glad to be part of this, and thank you to Melissa for bringing us together. So I appreciate it.
Much love to Melissa and to Ginger.
Bye, guys. Thanks so much. Free to get more information about them. And with that being said, that is a wrap. It's not about pageants, but thanks for letting us know, James. This is about something totally different. It's about making a difference in your community. Actually, not all of them are about objectifying women. The ones that I'm involved with are all about community service and accomplishments. So there you go. There is absolutely no beauty part in any of the pageants they do, except inside beauty, being able to make a difference to them. But thanks for sharing your opinions, James. And we're going to go ahead and take the night off. We'll see you Sunday night, where we're going to have a special guest, Ms. U.S. Woman of Achievement, Elizabeth, is going to be here. She's one of my sister queens from Florida, and she won the national title in November. She's going to talk about all of her community service that she does on a regular basis, working with the USO and Operation That's My Dress with Sherry Hill, and being able to change the lives of women out there that are in need when they're wanting to get an evening gown for a special event for military, or maybe for prom, or maybe even a wedding dress. So we're going to hear all about her story. So, you know what, James? I will challenge you with that. If you'd like more information on my inner beauty, feel free to be able to go to that's exactly what you should do. Go check out our YouTube. You can hear all about the things that we do, and all the things that I do as well. And you would be really surprised, because even people like Miss Universe are out changing the world with HIV and being able to raise money and awareness for Best Buddies, which is an organization that works with people with disabilities. So be careful what you think, because they may not be what you see on TV. Hey guys, thanks so much for being here. That is a wrap. Everybody have a great night. I really appreciate you being part of the show. And again, we will see you Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.